Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. So, um, basically, Naomi Osaka. Let me see if I could go to the. Okay. Now, thank you, Chris Cervantes. I've been on this story for a while. I just never really reported it because I don't watch tennis and I could care less about tennis. But Osaka, man, Carcino talked about this. We talked about this as a group in the back chat of the StreamYards, and we were saying that they're trying to get her away from her boyfriend, Corday. So they're trying to get her in that good old boys club. But she's not budging really. She's her own woman. Um, this story, all four Grand Slams issue joint statement threatening Naomi Osaka with disqualification and suspension if she boycotts the media. Naomi Osaka won her first round match at the French Open earlier that day um, in two sets, but her off court media boycott continues to dominate the narrative. Earlier that week, Osaka announced her plan to skip media obligations at Roland Garros, citing mental health concerns. Um, she said this on her post. Hope you're all doing well. And you can find this on Twitter. It's at Naomi Osaka, all one word. Hope you're all doing well. I'm writing this to say I'm not going to do any press during Roland Garros. I've often felt that people have no regard for athletes' mental health, and this rings very true whenever I see a press conference or partake in one. We're often sat there and asked questions that we've been asked multiple times before, or ask questions that bring doubt into our minds, and I'm just not going to subject myself to people that doubt me. I've watched many clips of athletes breaking down after a loss in the press room, and I know you have as well. I believe that whole situation is kicking a person while they're down, and I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Me not doing press is nothing personal to the tournament, and a couple journalists have interviewed me since I was young, so I have a friendly relationship with most of them. However, if the organizations think that they can just hold on. Oh yeah. Um that they can just keep saying do press or you're going to be fined and continue to ignore the mental health of the athletes that are the centerpiece of their cooperation, then I just gotta laugh. Anyways, I hope the considerable amount that I get fined, hold on, for this will go towards a mental health charity. And she said this. So she said this in the in a Twitter, and the tournament basically they responded to this and they have fined her $15,000 for skipping media after her first round win. More than that, though, the French Open, along with the three other Grand Slam tournaments, issued a joint statement addressing Osaka's plan, noting that further punishment could include default from a tournament and suspension from future slams. Following this announcement, the Roland Garros team asked her to reconsider her position and tried unsuccessfully to speak with her to check on her well being. understand the specifics of her issue and what might be done to address it on site. Following the lack of engagement by Naomi Osaka, the Australian Open, Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open jointly wrote to her to check on her well being and offer support, underline their commitment to all athletes' well being, and suggest dialogue on the issue. She was also reminded of her obligations. The consequences of not meeting them, and that rule should equally apply to all players. Naomi Osaka today chose not to honor her contractual media obligations. The Roland Garros referee has therefore issued her a $15,000 fine in keeping with Article 3H of the Code of Conduct. The mental health of players competing in our tournaments and on the tours is as of the utmost importance to the Grand Slams. We have advised Naomi Osaka that should she continue to ignore her media obligations during the tournament, she would be exposing herself to possible further code of conduct infringement consequences. As might be expected, repeat violations attract tougher sanctions, including default from the tournament. Code of Conduct Article 3T and the trigger of a major offense investigation that could lead to more substantial fines and future Grand Slam suspensions. Code of Conduct Article 4A.3. We want to underline that rules are in place to ensure all players are treated exactly the same, no matter their stature, beliefs, or achievement. As a sport, there is nothing more important than ensuring no player has an unfair advantage over another, which unfortunately is the case in this situation. If one player refuses to dedicate time to participate in media commitments while the others all honor their commitments. That last part is interesting as it's sort of the tacit admission that meeting with the media can be a taxing element to a Grand Slam, but we're talking about a spectator sport here. Osaka's stance is at odds with that inherent element of top level competition, and while it's important to respect her reasoning and try to see where she's coming from, with an empathetic perspective, it isn't a situation where the player is clearly in the right. It is really, really difficult to imagine a top ranked player and champion like Osaka being defaulted from the French Open, much less being prevented from playing in future slams via suspension. Hopefully, both sides can find a way to make it work going forward. All right, so that was that. Now, I think today she withdrew. Let me make sure. Okay. Naomi Osaka announced today on Monday that she has withdrawn from the French Open and is going to take some time away from the court. Earlier, organizers said that she continues to not speak to the media. Said that the tennis player could face expulsion from the tournament and future Grand Slams if she continues to not speak to the media. Last week, Osaka said she would not participate in any news conferences during Roland Garros to protect her mental health. She was fined $15,000 USD and 10,570 pounds in the wake of her infringement of mandatory media interviews. Um, she wrote this. She said this statement. Hey everyone, this isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction. I accept that my timing was not ideal and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I would never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me at the tournaments will notice that I'm often wearing headphones, as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize especially to all the cool journalists who I may have hurt. I am not a natural public speaker and get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answers I can. Now, Hold on. Hold on. I can't. All right. Now, the second part of it. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious, so I thought it was the better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. I announced it preemptively, excuse me, because I do feel like the rules are quite outdated in parts and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament apologizing and saying that I would be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament as the slams are intense. I'm going to take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans. Anyways, hope you are all doing well and staying safe. Love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, so that was Naomi Osaka. She has been heavy on the backlash. She's basically been upset because of the killings going on of black unarmed black men basically in this world, what's going on and everything, basically in the US. Her father is black and her mother is Japanese, and I really don't like how they promote it. They always promote just her and her mother. They never show the father, and they do this a lot of times. They did this with Serena. They don't show her father no more. They done basically pushed him out the way, so it's been crazy, man. I haven't really been keeping in touch with it, but from looking on the outside in, Osaka, man, she's a good to she could be probably one of the greats to ever play tennis. She's very good. She beat Serena Williams, and then Serena Williams turned into a little a-hole basically towards her because Serena's always been that way, a spoiled brat. So but great player, Hall of Famer. I think that's what they call it, Hall of Fame in their sport. But she's getting backlash, and this is what I said. What she should have done, and I'm not taking the media side, but I'm not taking her side. There's a time and a place for dealing with mental health, talking about mental health, and then playing the sport. You should have never played or came to the US Open. You should have the French Open. You just should have said, forget it, I'm done. I'm not coming there. I have to deal with mental health. You should have done that. At the end of the day, Osaka, what this does is it's going to turn people against you, especially those good old boy clubs. In the words of Kwame Brown, they have the good old boys in tennis, especially tennis, because tennis is, I believe, majority white and I think Asian. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Don't blast me, but I think it's majority of white, just like golf was. Until Tiger came and just took it over. But the thing is, you have to look at the big picture of this, and the media does this. The media does things to basically to basically the majority basically making it like a lot of times that is the black person's fault and stuff. And because if they're a black athlete, which she is biracial, she is Japanese and black, so she's mixed. She's not fully black, she's not fully Japanese, I believe. She is basically mixed. And a lot of times the mixed folks, I've always learned this, have really gone overboard a lot of times in talking about black rights, blacks not getting their rights. And my thing is this: they still run a business, and you have to be able to handle this smart. You have to be able to handle this the correct and right way. The thing is this: what they need to do is, Osaka should have never went to the French Open in the beginning. She should have never went there in the first place. When you went there, you basically said, I'm here, I'm going to do everything you say, because now you're on their turf. You can't do things like that. I understand what you were doing, but if you're depressed, Osaka, and you're not feeling well, don't go to the French Open. You should have just sat out. And I'm not dissing her. And I'm not dissing the U.S. Open or the French Open. It's the French Open. I get them confused. Sorry, I'm not a tennis guy. I just look from the outside in, and I've seen some of her matches. Osaka's nice. She's good. she's the goods. But the thing is, you have to be able to learn how to make a stand when it's time to make a stand. My boy Detroit T, shout out to him. He said something perfect the other day. I don't want politics in my sport as far as overly doing politics. To me, I don't want it either. If you're going to talk about politics, do it off the court. Bring people together, bring awareness, fight these guys on this issue. But going there and not talking to the media, the world is basically media driven. It used to be the writers, the journalists, the beat writers in them, they used to have the power because they could write a story and it be printed in the newspaper. And basically, when it's printed in the newspaper, it messes you up because it's printed in the newspaper. So it messes you up because you can't be able to debunk what they're saying until you either interview with them or you do a sit down with them. And as time has gone and as time has changed each decade, the media basically has basically turned from journalism to basically TMZ. That's all they are now. espn and FS1, they're nothing but gossip stations. But see, when black people talk about their issues, what white America and white media does is they tear it down. They basically call it, it's not fun, or they're always complaining. That's been the stigma placed on black Americans and black people around the world in general. Because it's not just here that racism happens. Racism happens to the media in Asia as well. Blacks who live in China, who's blackanese, basically, we call it, they're black and Chinese or black and Japanese or black and Vietnamese or black and Korean. They are treated below dogs. And that's the fact. You can look all this up. I'm not making this up. My page is mainly about race. And I'm going to talk about race because as a black man from the South, I have always been treated terribly by whites. There are some whites that are real cool and they're good. But those whites at times, they're cool enough to be your friend. But then when things hit the fan where it's time for them to stand up and be on our side to help us get through these transgressions that are against us, they hide in the back. They hide in the back, or they don't even want to deal with it because they don't want to deal with that backlash in their white card being pulled. See, if your white card is pulled, they ain't going to know what to do. They're going to lose their mind. They're going to be like, oh no, my white card is gone. What am I going to do? That's them. But I feel what Naomi is doing to me. I'm from the era where I didn't show that I was depressed. If I was depressed or whatever, I would never let anybody know that because to me, I'm from the era where that's a sign of weakness. People would use that against you in tournaments. They would use that against you in any sporting event. And to me, I just wouldn't do it because it's not the right time to do it. To me, you keep that to yourself. If you're mentally depressed and everything, that's fine. But at the end of the day, Naomi, athletes, you guys are getting paid boatloads of money. If a person like myself or anybody else who work a 9 to 5, or if you got your own business and you're struggling to make payments and stuff because of the economy and the way that the demand is going, which is kind of low right now, you're basically going to struggle a lot. And we look at you like, look, you an athlete. You getting all these endorsements, you getting this money, you're able to fly places. So a lot of the people that are the average person like myself, we're not going to feel sorry for you. And that's the truth. We're not. We're not going to feel sorry for you because you're getting paid all these millions of dollars. But at the end of the day, these athletes are basically advocating, oh, well, we need to talk about mental health or depression. To me, I'm like this. All you athletes are talking about this. Why haven't y'all fought for blacks to get their reparations? Huh? If all you athletes are for the black man around the world, why haven't you fought for blacks to get their reparations? Why haven't you fought for blacks to get their 40 acres and a mule? Why haven't you fought for blacks? Because the Asians are getting reparations and the Jews are getting reparations when the Jews aren't even the Semitic people. They done lied to all of y'all saying this anti-Semitic. Man, fuck that Jew shit. Fuck that Jew shit. And I'm not dissing all Jews. I'm dissing that bullshit that some of these Jews be trying to do. They be trying to act like they're the holy children. No, the holy children are the Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelites were black. They are the rulers of the world. They are the kings and the queens of the world. Not these fake ass Jews and not these fake ass Asians. And this isn't no hate speech. This is real speech. This is the conversations I love to have that make you as the person that's watching uncomfortable. You guys are so worried about your damn views on YouTube that you guys don't even look at the real issues. Y'all talking about, oh, this BS, but you guys don't listen. Y'all don't listen at all. People want to hear all the time, but they don't want to listen. People hear, but they don't listen no more. And that's the reason why we never can make any progress. Because you got whites over here praising the Jews when the Jews are some of the most heinous people in history. You guys are the ones who crucified Jesus. Y'all the ones who killed Jesus. Did y'all forget about that? But y'all are so holy sanctified. Y'all the Star of David. That's a bunch of crap. That's whitewashing. You guys are not the Semitic people. The Semitic people are of Afro heritage. So if you have African DNA in you, whether you're a mixed guy or you're full-blooded African, you are part of the Semitic people. And we have got to stop with this notion that, oh, well, depression and this and listen, depression, I can't afford to be depressed or a bill ain't going to get paid. I can't afford to be depressed or my page isn't going to grow. I can't afford to be sick and lay down. I got to keep moving. But see, that's what they want to tell you. They want to tell you if you work hard and you do your job, everything is fair game. And that's a goddamn lie. The media stands for multi-ethnical destruction in America. And I have told you guys this. I have continued to tell you guys this. I have continued to press you guys and tell you about this. They do not talk about the white athletes like they talk about the blacks. The black athletes are torn down. They only pick one black athlete of any sport to promote. All the other black guys are niggas. They're niggas. They don't have no use for them. And it's the facts. You either gonna believe it or you're not gonna believe it. And this is the problem with everything. Osaka should have never went to the French Open. She should have sat out and fought these issues. But my issue with her and all of these other guys, Kyrie, LeBrownies, all of these guys, why aren't they talking about reparations for blacks? Oh, I know why. Because if they do, they know the backlash and the people are going to come after them. Why haven't they talked about it? Why haven't they said anything about blacks getting their reparations? Asians can get their reparations when nobody hates the Asians. I have never seen an Asian treated wrong anywhere. Asians usually have 401k plans. Their credit is good. They have businesses within the hood where black people actually are your biggest clients. We go to your punk ass nail salons. We go to all of this stuff to support you, but yet if this was the other way around, you guys don't give a damn about us. So why the fuck am I gonna talk about Asian? Stop Asian hate. No, motherfucker, stop the Asian fake. I'm putting that down. Hashtag stop the Asian fake. Hashtag stop the Jews fake. The fake Jews. They're fake. And you people continue to fall victim to this bullshit. It's funny. It's no more media, it's no more journalism, it's no more honor among anybody. Everybody is basically an opinion head, or they think their opinion's great. But see, you guys are so quick to hop on the brownie stick and try to protect him, the token Negro you love. And I know a lot of y'all who the token Negro. Y'all love the token Negro, but y'all hate on the real. That's what y'all do. You guys support the fake, but you hate the real. You guys are already talking bad about Kwame Brown, calling him a coon, when all he said was, if you're going to diss a girl like Candace Owens and them, at least hear what she got to say, then debate her back and destroy her points. You guys are quick to jump. Oh, he's a coon. He gave a shout out to Candace Owens and Jason Coonlock. Yeah, because he basically was saying they have valid points. Yeah, they're hated for their points, but instead of just destroying them, because that's what they do to us. So I feel where he's coming from. But I told Kwame, hey, I feel where you coming from. I understand it. But me, fuck Candace Owens and fuck Jason Coonlock. I'm not gonna listen to shit they say, but that's me. But I respect what Kwame Brown said. And I'm not gonna call him a coon because he's not a coon. He hasn't done anything coonish. He's opened his platform for blacks to use his videos to make money. Is that coonish? He's going on different black people's platform on on YouTube with Ticket TV, shouting out Carcino and Jada Black. He shouted out that punk ass Tommy Sotomayor. He shouted his punk ass out. He's black. Is that cooning? Come on, man. You guys got to smarten up. Y'all letting these idiots out here deter what you think of, deter what you're thinking about or what you're reading. And if you actually look into a lot of this stuff, you'll see it ain't nothing but glamour and glitz. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's nothing but glamour and glitz. But you guys basically continue to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And I can't help you on that. You're just going to continue falling. So to me, Osaka, to sum everything up, if you got here late into the video, Osaka basically withdrew from the French Open because she's dealing with mental health issues, and she's having a dispute with the tennis world that they don't treat athletes with respect, and that she's fighting against that, like not letting athletes have their time to relax and not deal with all the questions, but mental health and depression and things like that. So she just decided to leave because she was facing expulsion from future tournaments. and being able to ever participate again. They were going to ban her. So she decided just to withdraw, to stop taking the focus off of her, which I felt like was a dumb move. You should have never went to the French Open. You should have been advocating this before you went to the French Open so your message could get out better. Now your message is going to be diluted because you got the punk ass media who's going to spin stuff, which they always do. They always spin people's shit. But if it's a white person, fully white doing it, they're going to coddle to her more. It just is what it is. And this world is nothing but white and black. White, you living right. If you're black, you're wrong. Thank you for listening. We're out. Deezy.